Now listen, we all already knew this series of the Mavericks versus the Timberwolves would be electric, but what we got in game 1 was must-see TV. The battle was close the whole entire game, with the Dallas Mavericks pulling out the W, and the game plan in itself was quite simple. Let Luka, Doncic, and Kyrie Irving attack off the screen and roll, and then flow the offense off of that, while on the defensive end, it was all about making life tough for Anthony Edwards and making the rest of the team come up big to have a chance at winning. Now everybody lock in, because class is in session for game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, and we're diving right in. When it came down to the Mavericks scoring the ball, it was all about attacking that drop coverage. When coming off this high pick and roll, this is where you see Rudy dropping back instead of hedging hard. 1, because this is the game plan that the Wolves drew up, but 2, it's because this lob action over the top to Gafford is a lethal option. So as Luka continues downhill, he's going to snake around to keep McDaniels behind him. And at this point, this is where it's pick your poison for Gobert, because with Luka now deep in the paint, he can either stay on Gafford and let Luka go for the shot, or he can contest Luka and leave Gafford open. Well, which one do you think he picked? If you guessed the latter, then you would be correct, as he tries to block Luka, who blends his layup gather into a lob, and now it's easy money. The reason these screens will be so high is so that the offensive player has plenty of room to work with and time to make a decision, so when Gobert fully commits to stopping Irving on his pursuit to the rack, we can all see what pass is now open, and let's all listen to it.
Prying his way to the paint, Irving. Oh, and tomahawked in!
These actions put Gobert in such a vulnerable position, as he has to choose between 1 or 2 deadly options, and if he doesn't choose to step up on the ball handler, well, it could result in Luka stepping back to use Jaden's momentum against himself on the recovery, and the jumper is straight cash. You really can't win in any situation when you're going against 2 high-level shot makers in Kyrie and Luka, as even when Gobert does a decent job at splitting the ground between Lively and Irving, Kai is able to pull out that high floater over the top of Gobert to drop it right on his head. This Mavs offense is highly concentrated on Kyrie and Luka creating open shots on the floor, so when the Wolves doubled Luka coming off the screen, they may think they took away all his options, but all they did was take away the shot, as Gafford has the inside positioning on Conley right here, so with a dime over the top of the double team, Gafford can catch it with ease and put 2 more points on the board. I know, it may look easy to guard to some people, but it's truly the little things that make it tough to contain these guys off the screen. When Luka's coming off, he's great at keeping the defender behind him or on his hip, so now when he delivers the up fake, McDaniels doesn't want to risk getting a foul, so he just puts his hands down, and now Luka can lean in to sink this short floater. It's really that craftiness that you have to look out for, because the snake around isn't just to get the open shot, but it also sets the defense up to foul him if they get too close. You'll see it here as Luka comes off the screen. McDaniels doesn't want to commit the foul, so he gets to the side of Luka, but for every counter there's a counter, so Luka's going to get into Jaden's body before stepping back, which creates a wide gap between the two, and now this floater is elementary. Like really, what would you do in this situation? Because yeah, right here with all this space to attack, if you're Gobert, you want to go ahead and step over to take away any look in close, but with such a tricky offensive player in Doncic, he's going to draw that contact on his way to the basket, and now he's awarded 2 shots at the line. Soon enough, the defense will get fed up with Luka picking on them, so they'll start to double him at certain points, but this is certainly a no-no, because on his backside lies an athletic 7-footer, and with the ball in the hands of a passing savant, he's going to sneak it right around McDaniels once Reed releases out to Derrick Jones Jr., and it's a light 2-hander. It's highly important that you stay aware of everything that's going on around you, as Luka will stay patient to find the perfect opening, so when Ant is called ball watching letting his man sneak back door, it's a simple scoop over to airplane mode for the takeoff.
He finagles his way. Jones up high.
Even if it's not somebody sleeping, what going on in this series, doubling Luka isn't the best option at all, because these looks right here are constantly open, and PJ Washington won't continue to miss them like he did in game 1. Like, I'm being for real, these looks are wide open to knock down, and sooner or later the Wolves will start to have to pay up. Now while PJ Washington was missing, Kyrie Irving certainly wasn't, as he showed everyone not to take him lightly whatsoever. With Ant matching up with Kai, he got a taste of what it's like to guard the most skilled player, and it was truly a long night. Instead of many high screens, it was a lot of free play, as Kyrie rejects the screen here making Ant bite hard, and at this moment, you done messed up. Because with a clear route to the basket, Irving can now paint the floor with the dribble, and seal the art piece off with his signature special. Guarding Kyrie Irving is one of the hardest things to do, because with the quickness, he'll be gone before you know it, and once all eyes are locked in on him, he'll serve dinner up in a split second for Gafford to go eat. It's like a game of now you see me, now you don't, as Kyrie will evade one defender, then escape away from what would have been a double team, and even though Cat is right there, Irving is simply unfazed. With Kyrie aware that he's playing a team with length, he's gonna have to beat him with his speed, so by turning the corner quick off this DHO screen action, it doesn't give Cat any time to get in front of him, which allows for an easy blow by towards the basket. And now with Gobert waiting on him, this is where the quick thinking comes in handy, and he used that left-handed float off the glass instead of trying to go all the way in. By keeping his foot on that pedal, not only does it gas out the defense, but it allows him to dictate the pace and where he wants to go. So with him now having to step on Gobert downhill, all Gobert can do is hope to get a chase down block, but who are we kidding? This is the best finisher in the world we're talking about. Honestly, there's not really much you can do, as Irving is very unpredictable. So when you watch closely and see that Irving jumps from outside the paint on this finish, it not only throws off the defense's timing on the block, but with him angling his body more towards the basket instead of trying to jump high vertically, it puts his body even more in between him and the defender for an easy uncontested layup. Try everything you want, even have a big smother him completely on his way up, but none of this will work, and instead it's a beautiful and one finish. This Mavs team as a whole was trying to get up and down the floor, not letting the defense set up so they could finish at the rim. And not only did we see this nice play from Jaden Hardy where he bumps off the defender into the Euro to score the bucket, but with such great connectivity, we got to see the ball move fluidly down the floor to end in a slam from Derrick Jones Jr. The Mavs not only look connected on offense with their ball movement and hustle plays to put points on the board, but on the defensive end, they were executing their scheme against Anthony Edwards to perfection. When Ant would try to drive one way, you could see defenders close in on him to take away any angle, so this will force him to go back the other way, but hey, once again, they close in on him another time, and with all that commotion, Kyrie can strip it right away from him. It would all out get difficult for Ant to get any clean looks at the rim, because with the Mavs loading up on him and sending guys over to help, it made every opportunity for him to score a nightmare. This scheme forced Edwards into being a passer, which is probably one of the weakest points of his game so far, and although he did make some passes that resulted in some buckets, he also made some passes where he simply threw it out of bounds. The Mavs walked into Target Center with one goal in mind, and that was to steal game 1, and even if it was by the skin of their teeth, they came out with the W. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and make sure to turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.